What's going on, YouTube? The second year of the NBA Cup starts tomorrow, so it's time to make predictions. Last year, when it was first talked about, people had mixed feelings about it, but I think as it played out, most people started to like it, and it's not going anywhere, and it's only going to get better. If you don't know how this works, 8 teams advance to the semifinals, one winner from each of these groups, and then one wild card from the West and one wild card from the East. So best record, best point differential for teams who don't win their group. Hopefully that makes sense, but we're going to start with West A. The Timberwolves get the easiest competition. I mean, the Kings aren't bad, the Rockets and Clippers aren't bad, but I'd expect the Timberwolves to run through West A. And then to West B, between the Thunder, Suns, and Lakers, Kevin Durant is injured for at least 2 weeks, so I expect him to miss at least 2 NBA Cup games, so that's going to make it a lot harder for the Suns to advance. And so between the Thunder and the Lakers, when they play, it's actually going to be a home court game for the Lakers. So I think home court advantage, the Lakers beat the Thunder by 1 and advance and win West B. West C is pretty easily the toughest group in the West. The Nuggets have been struggling, the Pelicans have a ton of injury issues, and the Warriors are off to one of the most surprising starts in the season, but I think it's mostly a lucky start. I think the Warriors are going to slow down. So between the Mavericks and the Grizzlies, 2 teams who are truly, I think, title contenders, when they play each other, the Mavericks are going to be at home. So just for that reason, I've got the Mavericks winning West C. And I think the Thunder are the wild card out of the West. I mean, you get the Suns without KD and the Jazz and Spurs, and the Thunder have been really good. Now to the East, we start with East A, with Paulo Banchero injured and the 76ers having all their injury problems. I think the Knicks run through this pretty easily. And then West or East B, this is probably going to be the most competitive group in the East. 3 teams, the Bucks, Pacers, and Heat. Either one of those I could see winning this group. But the Bucks have been struggling, and I don't know when Chris Middleton's going to be back. So between the Pacers and the Heat, when they play each other, the Pacers are going to have home court advantage. And that's why I'm taking the Pacers to win East B. And now we see the Cavaliers are off to the most surprising start in the league. Have they lost a game yet? I think they might be 12-0. But I expect them to slow down. I don't really think they're a title contender. And I expect the Celtics to run through this group. But I think the Cavaliers are the wild card out of the East, because if you take the top 2 teams out of every East group, so take the Celtics and Cavaliers out, the Bucks and Pacers out, and the Knicks and 76ers out, the Cavs get the easiest competition with the Bulls, Hawks, and Wizards. You might say without Banchero, the 76ers get the easiest competition with the Magic, Nets, and Hornets, but the 76ers have a ton of injury problems, and even when they get fully healthy, they're still going to need time to get the chemistry together. This is what the semifinals come out to look like, and it's important to know these predictions are assuming that no injuries happen, which is nearly impossible. We'll start in the West. Timberwolves, Thunder, a potential Western Conference Finals preview. OKC has the best defense in the league, but they also have a small lineup, especially with Hardenstein and Jay Will out. And Julius Randle likes to isolate and score a lot, and if someone 3 inches shorter than him is guarding him, then he's probably going to eat. So I've got the Timberwolves beating the Thunder at home. And then the Mavericks, Lakers. Anthony Davis has become the Lakers' best player, honestly. And as bad as the Mavericks defense, as much criticism as it gets, the one great thing about it is their rim protection with Gafford and Lively. And I think those 2 guys can give Anthony Davis some problems. So I've got the Timberwolves and Mavericks advancing. Now we go to the East with the Knicks and Cavaliers, a rematch of an exciting first round game a couple years ago. But the Knicks look a little different now. But Evan Mobley has played great, and as good of a defender as OG Anunoby is, he's given up 4 inches in that matchup. And Mitchell Robinson is out. So when Karl Anthony Towns goes to the bench, it's either you play Jericho Sims, who I just don't think is an NBA player, or you put OG Anunoby at the 5, which against the Cavs size is going to be a problem. So I think the Cavs beat the Knicks in an upset. And then a rematch of last year's Eastern Conference Finals, the Pacers and Celtics. 2 of the 5 best offenses in the league. And just like the Eastern Conference Finals, Kristaps Porzingis is out. And this time, Benedict Mathurin is playing. So you remember how I think at least three of the Eastern Conference Finals games were close. And now you got Benedict Mathurin. So it could get dangerous for the Celtics. And I've got the Pacers upsetting the Celtics. So it comes out Cavaliers Pacers. Timberwolves Mavericks. Defense versus offense, also a rematch of last year's Western Conference Finals. Jaden McDaniels is a good guy to put on Luka to potentially slow him down a little, and Rudy Gobert can disrupt the lob threats. And even though the Mavericks won the Western Conference Finals in 5, they had a guy like Derrick Jones Jr. who you could put on Anthony Edwards, and this year they don't have that. This year, I think Klay Thompson is going to be guarding Anthony Edwards. And in 2018, that might work, but I don't think that's going to work now. So I think the Timberwolves beat the Mavericks. Now to the East with the Cavaliers Pacers, which is hopefully not a preview of the Eastern Conference Finals. That would be an NBA TV exclusive Eastern Conference Finals. But the Pacers, remember, they were the runner-up NBA Cup winner last year. So they have NBA Cup experience that the Cavs don't. And the Pacers are at home. So I'm taking the Pacers over the Cavs. Now the NBA Cup Championship, the Timberwolves versus the Pacers. A true game of defense versus offense. A focal point of the Timberwolves defense is Rudy Gobert's rim protection. I think Miles Turner is going to space the floor out and take Rudy Gobert away from the rim a lot. And that's why I think after being the runner-up last year, they got in the lab, and now they're the NBA Cup champions. The second ever NBA Cup goes to the Pacers. Those are my NBA Cup predictions. Hopefully you agree with them. If you don't, then, they're mine, not yours. And see you next time. Hopefully the NBA Cup is fun this year, just like it was last year.